Yo, what's up? Just want to show y'all my hip hop collection from back in the days. Hope y'all enjoy this. My first CD, A Lot of Dark Man. Anybody that know about A Lot of Dark Man, know that this the album that popped off for him in '98, Heist of the Century. There's a lot of dope classics on here. I accidentally spilled juice on my fucking cover and shit, so Heist of the Century. You know what I mean? Going from this light. A lot of Dark Man. Wu-Tang, the dope album. My favorite tracks on here is Lucci, Four Souls, Polluted Wisdom, the whole album. Shit is dope. It's a good collector's item for your hip hop collection. All you Wu-Tang fans out there, if you ain't heard A Lot of Dark Man, check this nigga out. Check this album out. It's a dope classic album. Killer Army, Dirty Weaponry. You know what I'm saying? This album is fucking classic and shit. I had Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, but I lost all half my CDs going through my living situations and shit. That's what the CD looks like. Good condition. That's what the cover looks like. Can't really open it up because it's damaged, but this is what it looks like. It's one of my favorite albums. I had all three of them, Fear, Love, and War, this album, and Silent Weapons. But they never came out with no fourth album. But when I reminisce, I go back to this album, right? Classic. For all my RZA heads, I know about Bobby Digital, his first album, B.O.B.B.Y. Love this album to the point where I got tired of listening to it, but it's a classic. You know what I'm saying? Got all my... That's what the CD looks like. For y'all new heads that's trying to collect their shit. For all the new Wu-Tang fans that don't understand, that's learning about the essence or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The classic album. You know what I'm saying? My favorite track on here is Lab Drunk. Just the way he made that track. You know what I'm saying? Lab Drunk, Bobby Digital, classic album. If you ain't got this shit, if you ain't have it in your collection, for all the new Wu-Tang fans that just now digging into the past, get this album. This is worth listening to. And my favorite album of all times. Gravediggers, 6 Feet Deep. It's one of my favorite albums right here. One of my favorite albums, kid. Classic, horrorcore classic album, you know what I'm saying? The artwork, you know what I'm saying? For those of you who ain't never heard of Gravediggers, I don't know what y'all missing out on, but this is their first album, 6 Feet Deep. Classic album. Classic album cover. RZA with the fangs and shit back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Classic album. Diary of a Madman is one of my favorite tracks of all time. The whole album, period. So when I go through my days, you know, rest in peace to the brother, Too Poetic, man. Dope lyricist, dope MC, everything. I had their last two albums, Pick the Sickle and the Shovel, and Nightmare in the Minor, which is another dope album that y'all Gravediggers / horrorcore fans should pick. If you ain't got Gravediggers in your collection, I don't know what to tell you, but this is one of my favorite albums. So next on my Wu-Tang list for you Brooklyn Zoo heads, Killer B fans, Buddha Monk, The Prophecy. If you ain't heard of Buddha Monk, you might have heard him on Old Dirty Bastard's first album, Into the 36 Chambers. If you ain't heard that, if if you heard his voice on Snakes and Brooklyn Zoo, was that shit Protect Your Neck Part 2, the Zoo and shit. This is this is his first album right here, The Prophecy. You know what I'm saying? That's what the CD looks like. You know, ordered this on eBay because I was looking for this shit for mad long. It's the album cover right here, the album cover panel. You know what I'm saying? Buddha Monk. The fucked up part is that 12 o'clock ain't on this album. You know what I mean? For those of you who know about 12 o'clock, y'all know who I'm talking about, man. You got all the Brooklyn Zoo members on here, except for him. I don't know what the hell, you know what I'm saying? He would have been popping off this album, but I guess Buddha Monk was focusing on, you know, himself or whatever, but this album is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? It's 19 bangers on here. The single that popped off was Got You Like Come On Through with Drunken Dragon, you know what I'm saying? It was off a soundtrack, I think The Big Hit or some shit with Bokeem Woodbine, but this album is a dope fucking album, right? Now, for those of you who like Prince Paul, Stetsasonic, and Gravediggers, this is a dope fucking album right here. Hip Hop Gold Dust, which is a compilation album of classic joints he had in the vaults for like ages and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dope album, dope compilation album, you know what I'm saying? Dope cuts. I'm not gonna pull out the cover panel because it's messed up, but this album right here is a dope classic album. It got like, I think 19 cuts on here. Yeah, it's Bismarcky, Resident Alien, you know, Chubb Rock, you know what I'm saying? Gravediggers, he got like classic, he got like rare joints like Constant Elevation off the 6 Feet Deep album. He has like a original version with RZA's original lyrics that you ain't heard before. You know what I'm saying? If you have 6 Feet Deep and you know about Constant Elevation, RZA goes buck wild on that track. This verse is kind of different on the original version than it is on the main version, which you heard. You know what I'm saying? I advise y'all to pick this up. You know what I'm saying? Because this album is crazy. So if you ain't got this in your collection, with my old school hip hop heads, classic. Hey. I got like some classic CDs in here. CDs, I had so many CDs that I lost a few during my travels of life and all of that, and go through a living situation. You know what I'm saying? As you know, for all the Wu-Tang heads that don't know about Into the 36 Chambers, if y'all watch the Hulu series, you know what I'm saying, know about their story, and you just now up and up on your Wu-Tang albums, classic album. I mean, Into the 36 Chambers, classic CD. You know what I'm saying? Have all the cuts on there, Mystery of Chess Boxing, Method Man, Cream, you know what I'm saying? Classic album. Dope fucking album. The second album, Wu-Tang Forever. For those of you who are new upon, you know, classic albums and shit, this is a dope fucking album. 1997, I was damn near 13 years old when this shit came out. And I started collecting CDs around 96, you know what I'm saying? But this album is dope, you know, The Triumph, you know what I mean? It's Yours. Everybody knows the hits on this album. Very dope album and shit, you know. My favorite track was For Heaven's Sake, you know what I'm saying? The way RZA laid that track down. Basically the whole album, but, you know, this album's crazy. I mean, got this album for all the new Wu collectors. I would say collect all of them, but whatever your personal taste is, you know what I'm saying? I got some copies from my homie that he dubbed for me and shit, the Lost Boys hip hop mix and shit. I actually wanted the Illegal Drug Money album, but since, you know, he done made me a mix of all of this shit, you know, Renee and all of this, you know, it's a pretty dope mix and shit. I prefer collecting the albums because you ain't gonna be able to find these albums no more unless you order them. So this is like the mix CD, you know what I mean, that my homie made for me and shit. So Slim Shady LP, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like the, album cover and all that, but this is a classic right here. Hi, my name is, Role Model. First time I saw the video for Role Model, man, that made me want to get the CD even more. My name is didn't really fuck with me yet until I had a dub copy of the album. So Eminem, it's a dope lyricist, you know what I mean? And this is one of the, most classic albums I ever heard. His EP album was the shit too. And his rare joints that he got, that he had on his basement tapes and shit. You know what I mean? Well, this album's crazy. You know what I mean? If you ain't got this if you like Eminem and he's a hype and you like his rugged style, go back to his album. Matter of fact, go back to listening to Basement Productions. His style was very brutal on there. His shit was mad lyrical. He was mad lyrical back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But Slim Shady LP is a classic. Next classic album, The Pharcyde. Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde. Dope fucking classic album. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have had this back when I was collecting all my, back when I was digging into the, 90s hip hop and shit like that. I got the artifacts I had between, what's that album? Between the Rock and the Hard Place. Dope fucking album. But The Pharcyde, classic album, you know what I mean? Got that track, Passing Me By, which is one of my favorite songs on there, but the whole album as a whole, dope fucking album. So all you new heads that like real hip hop and that want to collect all the good hip hop shit, you must have The Pharcyde in your collection, you know what I mean? Along with everybody else, along with Cypress Hills and everybody else. If you ain't got this, I don't know what to tell you. But this is a classic album. Next, Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full. Classic album. I had all the albums, but I had to get this back because this is like one of the most monumental albums in hip hop in the golden era, you know what I'm saying? Along with Ultramagnetic MCs, KRS-One, Dana Dane, Slick Rick and shit. This album is a classic album, you know what I mean? My uncle used to spit that Paid in Full verse all the time when I was a kid, and it stuck with me, you know what I'm saying? And just by looking at the album art and stuff like that, and if you could see, the posse and shit, if you look and see, I heard about the original 50 Cent. He's in the album cover right here, and I'm like, damn. My man used to always tell me about the original 50 Cent, but he's on this album cover right here. Open it up. That's bullshit, man. This is what the Paid in Full CD looks like. Album art and everything. Classic album. If you ain't got this in your collection, I don't know what to tell you. Get all Eric B. and Rakim albums. Classic album. This one is pretty damaged right here. Water Damage. Nas's I Am album. Dope fucking album, My favorite albums are Illmatic and It Was Written, but, as I've heard the songs before, I had to get this album, you know what I mean? Because I like the New York State of Mind Part 2. That beat just blew me away. You know what I'm saying? This album's cool, dope fucking album. Got Hate Me Now on there and all the bangers on there, But I can't play this CD no more. This shit. Half my CDs done watered out. Look at this shit. I gotta get me another copy. You know what I'm saying? To all you Nas fans out there that's just now upping on this album and shit like that, go get the Lost Tapes Part 2. I haven't heard it yet. When I get the chance to hear it, I'm gonna take time and listen to it and shit. You know what I mean? Because I heard Nas, I just read up on Nas that he's tired of performing Illmatic in different concerts, but to get the adrenaline rush growing and shit. You want to hear that Queensbridge hip hop classic like this. If you go on the Queensbridge and you bumping all the classic albums from Mobb Deep, that shit bump Illmatic. You know what I mean? It'll take you to another, era and shit. But this album, you know, it's a good album, must have in your collection if you're a big Nas fan or hip hop fan, You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not into it, give it a listen a few times. And everything is alright. This last classic CD, Dr. Dre's The Chronic. Everybody that saw the NWA movie knows the history. I'm not going to run down the history of NWA. You should know who NWA is. You know what I mean? Know who Dr. Dre is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has this album. You know what I'm saying? So, I got into this album back in high school in Seattle around 99, 2000 when The Chronic Part 2 came out. And I had this dubbed on tape and I was bumping it every day. You know what I'm saying? And it takes me back. You know what I mean? Good condition. Classic fucking album, Ain't nothing but a G thing, Classic album, you know what I mean? You bought that album, it makes you think about the West Coast lifestyle and shit. Never been to Compton or nowhere, but just to take you on a journey of the G-Funk era and all of that. You know what I mean? So big up to Dr. Dre for putting this classic album together and bringing out all the greats and shit on this album. Dope fucking album. Last but not least, Das EFX, man. Das EFX, dead serious. I had the original album, but I lost that. I had to get this back. Because it's a classic fucking album, man. Along with Straight Up Suicide and all the other albums. Das EFX album is classic, you know what I mean? They want effects straight from the sewer. Microphone Check. One of my favorite classic albums of all time, you know what I mean? When I think of the Iggity style, everybody was using that style, you know what I mean? And the Iggity style became worldwide. And, they had to change up a little bit, but their first album is always a classic. This and Straight Up Suicide. Dope fucking albums. Must have in your collection if you're an EPMD fan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for my collection. Hopefully when I get more, I can show y'all, you know what I mean? And I'm done. Till next time. Later.